Hello, Henil. How are you?
Hey Dev, I'm fine. What about you?
I'm fine too. So, what's the topic today for Video Geeks?
So hopefully this topic just that we'll be discussing today from my side that is like very interesting for all of the audience because mostly the videos that I'm putting in my on my YouTube channel are like on networking. Currently, one of the video that I've just uploaded is like on the GitHub series that I'm currently making video of that series. So
Yeah,
seventh video is just uploaded. Go watch now. Just an hour ago, I have watched it, and yeah, pretty much you can see I have got 95 subscribers, and the viewers who are watching and not subscribed yet. So just go and subscribe to my channel because the what you can say.
yeah, get him to 100, guys.
Yep, yep. So let's jump to today's topic, which is like a topic on networking related to networking. In just an introductory session or what you can do, just we are touching that concept. So let's start. And if we talk about the today's topic, which is like the VRF, and the full form of that is virtual routing and forwarding. So yeah, are you excited, Dev? Because it's like a lot long ago we have started discussing on networking topic.
Yeah, I can already see the nostalgic terms VLAN, routing,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So, yeah, it should be a very good refresh.
Okay. So see well. This is like the agenda that we are going to see the overview. What is the need of that VRF? We will map with the VRF with the VLAN because we you will see once you get to know about what is the VRF, then you will automatically see that it's similar to the VLAN. Okay, and at the end we'll see the conclusion. So let's start from the overview then. In that case, so you can see that virtual routing and forwarding is like a technology included in IP network routers. So basically, it's in the network that we can configure VRF, right? Which enables multiple instances of a routing table. And now, what I mean by routing table is that most of the guys that who are watching the video will know that the routing table is like in the routing table or you can say in the router there is a thing called routing table which will route the packets. Like if the packet is coming from some port, then on which port that packet should be sent or the packet should not be sent, that is the decisions that the router takes from the routing table, right? So that's maybe clear to all. And uh, that is like virtual routing and forwarding is like that we know that in one router there is only one routing table that what you can say that the regular audience will be knowing that yeah, there is a one router and there is a one routing table in it by which it takes the decision. But what is VRF? It is like it allows a router to have multiple routing table in it. So that is called virtual routing and forwarding. So from the picture here, you may see that this is a bit confusing because you may be aware about the concept, right? That see these lines indicates the interfaces that are connected with the router, yeah, and this is router. So see, this is gigabit 1/1 port, gigabit 0/1 port, 0/2, 1/2, and 2/0. So you may be wondering that uh, a router is having multiple ports and each of the ports should belong to a different network. Then why this same network like /24 192.168 11/24 10/24 20/24 21/1? So why this is like same network? So that is basically that can be possible due to VRF. So let's explore a VRF a little bit more. So see, we'll understand VRF by
See, yeah,
we'll understand VRF by one scenario.
one.
Okay, so
Okay.
let me tell you the scenario. See, let's say there is a one service provider company. let's say there is an X company who is providing internet services or IP based services, right? Some kind of service. And see, there is there are two customers. One is Ramesh Lal and one is Shanti Ben. Got it? And they both are coming to like the company X company, and let's say they want some kind of services from the X company that they are providing. Now, what is the problem? Let's say Ramesh Lal wants that the university, like let's say he works in one university, and the university, they want that Ramesh Lal want that our university should get internet services from the service provider, which is X company, and also Santi Bain, she also wants that our let's say our institutes, or let's say the school wants to have internet service from the X company. And let's say internally before going to the service provider, they are using 192.168.10.0/24 internet, or what you can say addressing scheme in their what you can say, let's say their at their what you can say location. Also, there is one problem that Shanti Bain also uses the same what you can say network 192.168.10.0/24, right? So in that case, what is the scenario? Let's see that. So see, this is the Ramesh Lal's institutes, and this is Santi Bain's institute, or let's say their location from where this is the central router from the X company, right? All the services will come to this central router, and this central router will do something. It will serve some kind of requests. But following the current scenario, that all the requests come from this Shanti Bain's what you can say institutes, that will be on this addressing scheme, and this is also on the same addressing scheme. So one router cannot have two interfaces configured on the same what you can say interface, same network. So that is not possible. So router will get confused. So what is the solution? Can you tell me that what can be the possible solution if you know some basic?
I think both would have different MAC address, and both can communicate or use this router via different port numbers.
Okay, that is known as particularly native. That you are correct, but see that can be possible. Let's say in the company, or let's say this router, this two additional router, that is called extra hardware, right? So we are using extra hardware. How is that possible? First, let me tell you that. So see, the concept of netting is like, or you can say padding, netting or padding, right? So that can be used like it converts, it translates one IP to some another IP. And let's say in company they do that, like these three routers, all these three routers belongs to X company service provider, and they put something like that. If Ramesh Lal is sending a request from this network, then it should be converted to this network, which is 10.0.0.8. And let's say Santiben is making some request from this network, then it should be translated to 11, and then this is central router. Also, one can do like this also, like the company puts this router at Ramesh Lal's location, and this router at Santiben's location when they are what you can say providing services, setting up the services. So in both the cases, that doesn't matter where these routers are, but they are like extra hardware, right? And let's say we want some flexibility. So now in here, the VRF comes into the picture. So let me tell you what is VRF then. See, basically VRF, it's like a logical router. Let's say we follow the same scenario, that this is a central router, this is the Ramesh Lal's location, this is a Santi Bin's location. And what is the ordinary stuff that you may know, that there is only one routing table. Now just assume that what will happen if, let's say, we are having two routing tables. one for the Rameshlal and one for the Santiben. Can you think of that?
Yeah.
So, so in that case, let me tell you one thing: how the VRF works. So, we assign some of the ports to be on some VRF. Let's say a VRF is identified by some strictly what you can say case sensitive names. That is the thing that we need to follow. Like, let's say we are providing a VRF name as let's say Ramesh Lal, right? And also, let's say we are creating another VRF for the Santi. So they are both having now a different what you can say routing table. Let's say this port that we put this port into the Ramesh Lal's VRF, and we put this port on Santi Bain's VRF. So now what VRF will do, this is the default VRF routing table that we generally the what you can say that we see. One
Yeah.
one router will have one default VRF, and after that, let's say we put this port into Rameshlal VRF, so this port will have an individual routing table. So this routing table will only, what you can say, will have entries for the ports which are there in Rameshlal's VRF. So this routing table will be designated for the Rameshlal's VRF, virtual routing and forwarding. And this routing table will be designated to the Santi Bain's VRF. So now there is a separation. Now this router will act separately for the Ramesh Lal's network and for the Santi Bain's network. Now that doesn't mean that we can't have, what you can say, same network ID configured on the two different ports. That can possible. For before that, what we need to do, we need to create VRF, and we need to put this port on some different VRF and this port on some different VRF. So that's the VRF. And if you have like have any idea about VLAN, then it's the same. In VLAN also, what we do,
Yeah.
we logically separates all of the ports of the switches. We like VLAN 10, VLAN 20, we put some VLANs, and we configure a port to be on some VLAN. There is a default VLAN kind of thing that is same as that we have seen here, the default VRF. The one routing table which you see globally, that is default VRF. And this VRF that we have created for individual customers. And in VLAN, there is the same concept, right? We put some port in some VLAN, and their ports are
Yeah.
logically separated. Now they cannot directly communicate. We need to configure inter-VLAN routing, right? And that is same. If let's say somehow Ramesh Lal's students want to talk with the Santi Bain's students, and for that they are using the X company's router as a mediator. In that case, we can also do the stuff like that, the routing between Ramesh Lal's customers to Santi Bain customers, right? That is also possible. So that's the, what you can say, basic about
Yeah.
VRF. And you can also read that essentially VRF uses the same method of virtualization as virtual LANs, VLANs, right? They are like, and VRF is like equivalent to layer 3 version of TCP/IP VLAN, that we call it as a VRF. So this concept I just what you can say, just I come to know about this topic in that because I'm just started to work in my company, and they were talking about VRF, right? So that's, I just went to internet and searched all of about the VRF, and these are some of the conclusions that I got. So let's just read it out. So what are the conclusions? First, which VRF is like multiple routing tables exist in the single router, right? And VRF is like it allows network to be segmented without a need of extra hardware. So that we have seen, right? So in order to resolve the issue, the first solution that we
Yeah.
know about, that is to add extra hardware. But By using VRF, we can reduce that extra hardware and we can logically separate our router. So that's all about we don't without need of extra hardware. Then VRF acts as a logical router. Yeah. So the same compared to VLAN, that logical separation of the port on the layer 2, that is same as logical separation of ports at layer 3. That's why we call it as a logical router. And also it
Yeah.
increases the security in network. How that possible? Let me just explain. So before that, let's say Ramesh Lal wants to access the Santiban's devices. Then here the middleware, the router which is in the X company, can provide route to this Santiban network. But now they, as they both belongs to different VRFs, they can't directly communicate. A central router must provide some kind of routing in order for Ramesh Lal to communicate with the Santiban. So that's why the security between customers, that is also increased, that we can say. And also one more thing, that it eliminates the need of encryption and authentication, because we have configured VRFs, that's why we know that if the what you can say traffic from this port is coming, then only it will route to on those ports only, that is like what you can say good, or that is like what we can say, that Ramesh Lal wants to access, because we will only provide routing for those ports that Ramesh Lal can access. So that's like access control list also. So these are some of the conclusions from the learning that I have made till now. We'll also, what you can say, come with the practical sessions also, but just for now I just wanted to tell this topic. So yeah, that's all about the VRF.
Yeah. So that's a really great concept and comparison with VLAN. Hello, hello, hello,
Yes.
hello.
Yes, तार conclusion बोलिए.
Start. Yeah, so that's a great comparison between VLAN and VRF to solve such problem. Is there anything? Is there any live application of VRF compared to VLAN? Because we have already, I think VLAN is a common solution for such problems. What's thought on that?
Yeah, see, if we talk about the live example, so I just wanted to tell you that VRF is like just became popular, like it's a current what you can say, before 2 3 years before, the companies, the service provider companies started to use this VRF. And it is, they actually use in their companies to, like, let's say there is a central router. What they do is they create VRFs, and for each customer they create a different VRF, and they provide routing in each of the VRF, and by that they implement a security between customers, security in their system. They eliminate the need of authentication and encryption just by using VRF. So if we talk about the live example, then yeah, it is applicable, and it is the companies are using these VRFs. And yeah, if we talk about the VPNs, they also come. The concept of VPN also starts from the VRF here. So if somebody wants to
Mhm.
provide VPNs, then they must be aware about the VRFs. So yeah, And the live example, if you wanted to know about some practical stuff, then I'll be promising the practical sessions in upcoming videos also, because right now I didn't need any practical kind of thing. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a great. That would be great to see this in live mode. That's how it's actually getting its lines from.
Sure, we'll put some, we'll make some videos on, let's say, some simulation kind of stuff like Cisco's packet tracer or something else. I'll surely make that video because I
Yeah,
am also interested to learn VRF. Yeah.
yeah, that's very nice one. So, is that it, Anil?
Yep, that's it for today.
Okay. Yeah. We expect to see some practical stuff and other things from you from the next time.
Yeah, yeah, great, man, great. I'll surely make one video, or you can say we'll surely do that session in the next upcoming week.
Yeah, we will put our documentation and contents on our live website so you guys can check it out. And thank you for watching. Yeah.
Yep. Bye bye, guys. See you next time.